What's up, fight fans? It's AC Cooper from Eastwick Boxing UK, bringing you some news and opinion from Cooper's Corner. As always, Eastwick Boxing UK is in association with Three Kings Boxing. A shout out to everyone in the movement and everyone that's moving with it. So, hope you guys enjoyed last week's action. March is very, very much about Box's Premier Division. And just to put it bluntly, by the end of this month, providing the fight doesn't end in a draw, one guy is going to hold the three major belts of four ranking organizations. But that's for another show. We've got another fight to talk about tonight. My panel of guests, as always, two regulars on the show, two guys with a hell of a lot of knowledge. Start off with my regular partner in crime, Willie the Kid. How are you, man?
It's threekingsboxing.com.
And he's starting already.
Yeah, I'm doing well. How are you?
No, I'm not. I'm cold, man. It's fucking cold in the UK. But other than that, we're all. It's fucking
Dude,
cold in the UK.
I'm in New York, man. I had to take my jacket off and everything. It's normally like 30, 40 right now, but today it's like it has to be over 50.
Yeah, it's about 21 Fahrenheit here in the UK right now. But yes, we ain't used to it. Put it that way. Other guests and regular panelists, Seabourn Henderson. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. You know that dangle threekingsboxing.com's over there at www.threekingsboxing.com.
Chris Boomhauer Henderson, everybody.
Right,
the
guys. Boxing Boomhauer,
folks. The boxing Boomhauer. That's the one. Right. So we've got a hell of a fight coming up on Saturday night. Well, we've got a lot of action actually, but I'm going to talk about one fight in particular, and that is, of course, the WBC World Heavyweight Title fight between Deontay Wilder and Luis Ortiz. Now we've got a New York native with us right now, and that is Willie the Kid. So Willie, first off, a lot's been made about the fact that there are still seats available for this fight. What's the is there much of a buzz? But would you even know that there's a world title fight coming into town on Saturday night?
I mean, yeah, but it's New York City, man. We have a lot of shit to do. So boxing is a specialty sport, and unless you push it and push it hard and are willing to spend money pushing the product, you're not going to get much of a buzz. However, I believe, to me, being that you have two guys that aren't from town, where it's at the moment, I think it's doing very. It's okay. I think it's almost at 10,000 seats, so it's only a 17,000 seat arena. So you probably get that. You probably could increase that by 12, 13, 14,000 by the end of by fight time. You know what I mean? So the buzz is there, man. It's just not big enough.
Okay, we'll come on to that in a minute.
So, and also you have another show. Another fight at Madison Square Garden, which that one is doing horrible.
And you're going to be there.
Yeah, that one. They're actually having that one. I believe it's going to be at the theater in Madison Square Garden, which only holds like 5,000 seats, and I think they still have like 3,000 or 4,000 seats available.
Wow. Wow. Poor old HBO.
Nah, yeah, but it's New York, man. New York, people have a lot of stuff to do, man, and like they'll come out for like a Thurman Porter type fight. The heavyweight division. Everybody out here knows Deontay Wilder for most parts. Believe it or not, even though Eddie Hearn did that video when he asked two fans that know nothing about sports if they know who Deontay Wilder is. But people know who he is out here. It's just that a lot of people don't know Ortiz and a lot of people don't know boxing, period.
Okay. Thanks very much for that. Willie, I'm going to stay with you, actually, because I usually get Chris to do the fight breakdowns, but I wanted you to do this one. So if you believe social media, there's a hell of a lot of people sleeping on Luis Ortiz. I personally don't think that you should. How do you... Give me a breakdown. How do you see this fight going?
I see Ortiz. He could outbox him. Ortiz does everything better. Everything in my boxing knowledge says Ortiz is definitely the better boxer. He has the better footwork. He has the better movement. He has the better placement and punches. With that being said, I'm taking Deontay Wilder to win this one by knockout.
Okay. Chris,
so you wanted that prediction, motherfucker? You wanted me to come off the defense?
No.
You got it.
Well, there you go. I'm surprised. It's first
But I
time
can
ever.
tell you why, man. I just believe Father Time catches up to everybody. Ortiz is Cuban. It says that he's 38. I think he's closer to 45. And I haven't seen the movement from him in the last 3 or 4 fights. And this guy hits that hard, man. He does everything wrong. He does everything that you don't want a fighter to do in the ring. But his fucking power is so much. He has so much power that it's the great equalizer.
I couldn't agree more. Chris, have you got anything to add to that? I mean, there's a lot of cases for pretty much social media, from the way I see it, has said exactly what Willy has just said. So what has let's ask a different question. What has Luis Ortiz got to do to win this fight? And obviously the layman's answer is stay away from that right hand. But how does he win this fight? Give me some points on Ortiz.
Traps. Traps will be the key to him winning this fight, setting traps. He don't want to. Even though he has a 1-inch reach advantage, most people don't realize that Ortiz has a 1-inch reach advantage. The trick here for him is going to be to bring the fight in close. He wants to be able to smell Wilder's breath. You know what I mean? That's how close he wants this fight to be. He needs it to be not just in a phone booth, but in a phone booth with their legs taped together. You know what I mean? He really does, because he's got to. If he allows Wilder to get extension, Wilder's going to land. You're not going to avoid it for 12 rounds. Ortiz isn't that defensive oriented. You see what I'm saying? And so he's not going to avoid that right hand for 12 solid rounds. Wilder's got an athleticism advantage. He's got a speed advantage. He's got an awkwardness about him that you really don't know what the hell's coming next. You know what I mean? Because it's so weird. And JD's, which is his co-trainer, touched on it with me and Willy. He's touched on it a couple of times, and that awkwardness is really unique in the fact that you don't know what angle the punch is coming from. Now, that's a point that I feel like if you take an educated boxer such as Ortiz, shit, I mixed his names together, such as Ortiz, he can see them punches. He can see that shit coming from a mile away, man. I mean, he really can. But that being said, that speed and athleticism advantage eventually catches up over a 12-round period. I don't see, although on paper everything says take Luis Ortiz, I can't see him lasting past 8 rounds here, in all honesty. What he would have to do to win this fight would be set traps, shorten the distance, and catch him with a counter left. You see what I'm saying? And we don't really know how great a chin Wilder has yet. I mean, we've seen him get a little rumbled against, I think it was Molina, wasn't it? And
yeah.
Okay, so Molina ain't the puncher that Luis Ortiz is. You know what I mean? If Ortiz can lead him into a counter left that he can really sit down on, that's his best shot, in my opinion.
Right. Okay. So, surely there's got to be a case for Luis Ortiz being able to win this fight, because we've seen against Arthur Spilska, we saw against Gerald Washington that Wilder was getting.
But how did those fights end?
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
I take your
that's
point.
our whole point.
I mean,
I think they're faster at this point than what Ortiz is.
Yeah, you could say you've seen this and you've seen that, but at the end of the day, the fight still ended in a KO.
There's no question.
I mean?
Nobody's doubting that there's holes in Wilder's game. Nobody doubts that.
I'm telling you, Ortiz is the better boxer. I'm telling you, everything in my boxing knowledge says you take a guy like Ortiz over a guy like Wilder 9 out of 10 times. But can he still pull the trigger? I always said that AJ faced Blad at the right time, coming off a 2-year layoff at the right age, 41 years old, can't pull the trigger no more. The question should be, can Ortiz still pull the trigger?
Do you think he can?
I know.
So you're not making basically this is a resounding. There is no real case for Luis Ortiz winning this fight.
Oh, there is. He could set traps, but can he do? He has to do it for 12 rounds. 12 rounds. Do you picture yourself? Do you see Ortiz as the guy that could do that for 12 rounds at this stage in his career?
No, probably not. No, I probably tend to agree. So I've got a question for both of you
I
guys.
got a question for you. Who you picking?
Um, I'm going with Wilder as well, purely for the fact that he is the hardest punching heavyweight in the world. He's the hardest punching guy in boxing, right? Simple, pure and simple. And as Chris has said, at some point he is going to land, and that there is no two which ways about that. My question for you guys,
Yeah.
and this is for both of you, is: are we going to see a more disciplined Deontay Wilder, or are we going to see the Deontay Wilder that bull rushed Bermane Stiverne and just blew him away?
Well, I don't think he bull rushed him. I think he hit him with a good job, hit him with a good punch, got him in trouble, and that's where he gets undisciplined, where he just jumps in there, gets all wild, and throws them hooks from I was gonna say left field, but this is the British channel, so I'm gonna have to find a different analogy. And he throws them hooks from Sheffield, and they land in London.
Yeah, there you go.
That's actually a pretty good analogy. I'm impressed.
Yeah, from Sheffield, they land in London. I like that. But yeah, no, I don't foresee him bull rushing. He never really does. The Stiverne situation, he actually, it was an out of body experience. Deontay said.
Oh God, don't start that shit, Chris.
It was Deontay was possessed. He actually said this. Now he was possessed in that fight, and he had to pull himself off of Stiverne because he was about to hurt him bad. Okay, now that being said, now if you go back and really watch that, he lands a perfect textbook 1-2 to start that whole situation. And that right there, I see like in the first round, probably 3 rounds or so, it's more a fill out thing. Honestly, that's what I would imagine, because he knows that Ortiz is a good counterpuncher. You know what I mean? They know that.
Aaron, and also don't think he doesn't hear the rumblings about his technique or his resume and stuff like that. He's very aware of everything. That's why he has pushed for this fight. You know what I mean? This is the fight he didn't. This is a fight he didn't have to take. Like he could have walked away from this fight, and I would have been okay with it, because once you fail a drug test, I don't care if you fail to disclose a medication or not, or whatever was the case. I'm gonna look at you like suspicious, because that's just the way. That's the type of era we're in right now.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. So my next question, and that leads on quite nicely, is providing that Deontay Wilder beats Luis Ortiz, is he going to, because we've all said it, right? Ortiz is probably skill-wise top 3 boxer in the heavyweight division, and there's no question about that. Is he going to get the credit that he deserves for beating him?
He'll get it from us.
Yeah.
He's gonna get it from us. I mean, he's gonna get it from pundits that like you, myself, and C-Bone here, and the other guys that we run with. But the casual fan is gonna go back, well, he's an old man and he was past his prime. Well, you know what? The same fans that are saying that were the same ones rooting for AJ when he beat Blad. And I'm saying that Blad and you know what? Skill-wise, if you know about Luis Ortiz and you've seen his amateur background and you've seen him come up, I could have said that, you know what? If Luis Ortiz would have came up at the right time, he would have been right there with Blad and would have probably gave Blad a hell of a run to see who was the best heavyweight at the moment. But being that he was from Cuba, you have to defect. You can't just say, I'm going to be a pro. You actually have to leave the country. And a lot of these guys leave their families behind and things like that. So that's not an easy choice to make either. So from us, you're going to get love. From the casual fan, they hate you already. They're still going to hate you.
You've touched on an interesting point there, Willie, and I want to bring something up very quickly, actually, because Ortiz has been around for a while. Ortiz has been around when Vladimir Klitschko was still reigning as world champion. He didn't want any part of Luis Ortiz. Joshua hasn't wanted any part of Ortiz.
Right.
Fury didn't want any part of Ortiz. So realistically, Wilder, just for taking this fight, I don't give a shit if it's a couple of years later, because he's still a live body. Wilder should be getting the credit he deserves because this win, in my opinion, and bear in mind I'm British and I'm an Anthony Joshua fan, this win ranks better than anything Joshua's done.
It'll rank the same to me in a way, because
exactly.
From the standpoint that Blad was coming off a 2-year layoff, right? And I remember, I don't know if you remember me telling you right after the Fury fight, where Blad had the Fury fight, that I had told you, hey, Black can't pull the trigger no more, man. And coming off a 2-year layoff and going into that type of fight against that caliber of fighter, and not saying that AJ is like special because I don't see him as special. No offense to any of you UK listeners out there. I like the guy. I think he's a great talent, but let's be honest. This is the weakest heavyweight division, even in the fucking 2000s.
Yeah,
so
I totally agree.
It to me it ranks the same from the standpoint that 2-year layoff, man. When you're 40-something years old, it's hard to get up from that, man. I think Blas showed tremendous heart in that fight, and I think AJ showed tremendous heart in that fight. I think this fight could produce some fireworks, but it could be for a while. It could produce fireworks for Ortiz early, and it could produce fireworks for Wilder late. We're yet to see, man. Like I said, I don't have a rooting interest in this fight. I hate all heavyweights. I hate the division. I'm completely honest with you guys. I like watching skills, so it is what it is. But this is where we are at this point.
Okay.
I'm going to answer that in two ways, Aaron. I'm going to say that he, as far as being better than anything Joshua's got on his record, no, not this. On paper, the Klitschko win is definitely better. You know what I mean? By the eye test and by how we actually look at it, when you break it down, they're about the same, just like Willy said. All right, those two will be about the same now. But then you'll have in 3 weeks, 3 weeks later, 4 weeks later, you'll have the Parker win, and it'll go on paper as being the biggest. It'll go as the biggest win. You know what I mean? If Josh was able to pull that off. So overall resume is definitely leans toward Joshua.
Yeah, overall, I agree.
Yeah, and but
you almost have to do that.
As far as him receiving credit, he's going to receive it from us, but he's not going to get it from the boxing public, the casual fan now.
Or even boxing writers, the ones that write.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot of boxing writers, a lot of media that doesn't give him credit to. They're going to say, "Well, he was old. Well, he's not on the PEDs no more." You're going to hear all that shit. Just be prepared for it.
Okay. So
if Ortiz is to win, you're going to hear about how Wilder was a hype job.
Right. No,
exactly.
I agree.
And they're going to discredit Ortiz and Wilder at the same time. So it is what it is, man. I mean, I seen it before. You've seen it. We all have. So even some of the listeners have too. So
we've got. Okay, everything. Go
ahead. No. I was just going to say boxing fans are very fickle.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, they are definitely a fickle bunch. So from us, we've got the show on Sky Sports because obviously this is all building towards a potential Joshua fight. So for the benefit of the UK fans, what network is the fight on for you guys? Is it Showtime?
Yeah.
It's on Showtime. So because it's an interesting conundrum because I understand that boxing isn't the biggest sport in the US. It's the second biggest here behind football or soccer, as you guys will call it. And it's going through an Indian summer. And it's huge here.
It's the 11th sport here.
It's
ranked 11th.
Ranked 11th, Jesus. So you look at the meteoric rise and the way that the British media have built AJ. You look at all the success he's having, and then you look at the success. And I'm taking your point that it's the 11th ranked sport. Is Wilder poorly managed? Surely an American heavyweight champion of the world would be bigger.
Let me ask you a question. There was an American heavyweight, right? That was knocking everybody out, and he made millions and millions of dollars producing knockouts, right? You have the same exact thing now, right? Granted, Mike Tyson had way better skills in the ring than Wilder does. Way
better, yeah.
More discipline. The way he ducked underneath punches and just torture your body and then hit you with that uppercut would have a boxer thinking about his life decisions. You know what I'm saying? But it's the same thing. It's still the same thing, ain't it? Casual fans love a knockout, don't they? So yeah, he is being poorly managed. And it's simply just because Lou is a great promoter locally. He's done a lot of good things for New York. at a time where we thought the sport was going to die here because of insurance and things like that.
Yeah.
Somehow he has managed to keep it in the forefront. But on a global or national scale, he's horrible. So he is being poorly managed in that case.
Okay.
I agree.
Okay. Good stuff. Well, I think that's. Well, I know. I'll ask one final question, and I know in instant I'm gonna what the answer is that I'm gonna get, but I'll ask it anyway for the benefit of the fans. Are we going to see AJ Wilder this year?
No.
No, next year.
Yeah, next year. No, I agree
don't
as well.
see it. I mean, but we talked to Wilder's manager this past Thursday on our show, and he seems to be optimistic about it. But I actually told him himself that I just don't see it happen. I don't mean to sound pessimistic and disappoint the audience, but it is what it is. This is one of them fights that it's going to take it. I'm looking at probably next summer, into next spring, first part of next summer is what I'm figuring on. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong for the sport of boxing's sake, to be honest with you, but I just don't see it.
So, guys, this is going to be an interesting one. So we've got a comment in the chat room that the Stiverne fight was a fixed dive.
What the fuck are you talking about? Man, shut the fuck up, man.
Nah, they got to stop, man. Get the fuck out of here, man. That ain't no fixed dive.
If Bermain Stiverne was a dive, then Eric Molina was a payoff fight there.
Yeah. Fuck out of here with that stupid bullshit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Truth and facts about boxing in the room, everybody.
I tell you what, guy, whoever made that comment, how about you sit in there and take a punch from that man and then tell me if it was fixed or not?
It's a good point. It's a very good point. Truth and facts, we're actually just about to wrap up, but we've got a Cubano in the room now, so I'm going to ask him what his take on the fight is, see what he thinks. So Chris and Willy have done a very good job in breaking the fight down, and they've made both very good cases, and they think that Wilder's going to win. I do too. Let's get your opinion.
Well, you know, Bo is half Cuban. You know that, right? So
you are trying.
Wait. His half Cuban side is saying Ortiz, right? And his half black side is saying Wilder. And he got to meet somewhere in the middle. So where do you meet, Bo? I want to hear this. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's ought to be good.
Hold on. Let me get my popcorn. Hold on. I'm ready now.
Okay. I meet on the avenue of Viva La Cuba and Africa Live Forever. That's where I meet. That's where I meet. See, you know what, man? I hate these topics. Now, here's the reality that nobody wants to admit to. Luis Ortiz, probably biggest fight was a Brian Jennings that was coming off of a loss to Vladimir Klitschko, right?
I agree.
Absolutely. Totally.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you actually watch that fight, there was just some things that Brian Jennings kind of did wrong because he kind of fought the wrong fight. But when he started fighting the right fight, he had, he had a little bit better round, so to speak.
Yeah.
Now, after that, Luis Ortiz has not looked that good against Malik Scott and David Allen. Now, I've always said this. Listen, Eddie Hearns devalued him because he put him in there with guys that would be difficult for him to look good against. And that's just
Malik Scott. Malik Scott. That I don't even count that, man. I don't hold that against him. I've never seen nobody literally avoid a fight like that.
That guy didn't go there to fight at all. Like he went in there. I don't know.
Exactly. Then this last guy he was in with just recently before this Wilder fight was tailor-made to make him look good. So there are still some unanswered questions about Luis Ortiz. How would he deal when he's fighting someone that's just as athletic than him, who reflexes might be faster than him, and can hit very, very hard? How can he deal with that? These are things we don't know.
You better add another very to that.
What? I don't know if he can go 12 rounds. I don't even know if Luis Ortiz can go 12 rounds.
Well, Chris,
I don't think the fight goes
for Wilder, man.
I don't see the fight going 12 rounds either way. Either way, I don't either.
That's true.
I think Ortiz's best shot is to stop him.
Try to stop him early, too.
Most definitely.
Like, get him out of there early.
He's going to have to do something. Even though Ortiz holds the reach advantage, he's going to have to close the distance drastically.
Yeah, but that 1 inch reach advantage that 1 inch reach advantage isn't that much. And here's the thing about that reach advantage.
No, it's not.
And It's not. It really isn't. And then when you talk like Ortiz, for as skillful as he is, the guy he's your typical heavyweight as far as moving his feet. He's not quick with his feet. He really isn't. He's not
He
quick
was
footed.
at one time in his career. He's not anymore. At one time in his career, he used to bounce in there around like and do it well, but not like extraordinarily fast. But his footwork was so exceptional that he looked it that way. You know what? That's what
I
I'm
was
trying to say.
about to say, yeah, because he really not. What I mean by quick footed is he's not a guy that can cut the ring off and close the gap on you real quick. He's not a guy that can do that. Now, if he's right up on you, he's
not
right
going
up
to
on
have
you.
to here though.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's a good fight, man. I put it. You know what? I put it like this.
Man, who you picking, man? Put it like that, man. Who you picking? Man, that's what I want to know. I want to know this shit right here.
I'm having technical difficulties over here because I'm driving. I'm gonna have to log back in.
I heard your door opening. Get out of here.
Man, you know what? Everything says Ortiz. But I like Wilder in this fight. I'm taking Deontay.
Yo,
I'm taking Deontay.
This has got to be a record.
Aaron, this is weird, right? Everybody's saying the same thing.
I was literally just about to say the four of us have done this in the last 3 shows. We have picked the fighter over the boxer. Where we did it with Groves Eubank. We did it with another fight just recently. You did it with Rungwazai, right? Okay, Rungwazai.
Yeah, me and Chris picked Rungwazai.
Yeah, we did. Me and there were two of us picked Rungwazai, the whole bunch.
Yeah.
So, but and we're doing.
You know what? The number one thing though about Deontay is that I think his conditioning is underrated. Most heavyweights need a longer refresh time. Deontay doesn't need that. He's 220 pounds. He's exceptionally lean for a heavyweight, which means it don't take him as long to his energy level stays higher than most heavyweights. And then that right hand is the greatest equalizer in all of boxing.
Hey man,
and you can outbox him. If Luis Ortiz don't knock him the fuck out, and he just outboxing Deontay,
Deontay
gonna catch him. Yep, he gonna catch him. And all Deontay needs is one punch to either end the fight or start, or start the windmilling.
Hey man, to that guy with the fixed fight stuff, man. We ain't mean to be so harsh, but to be honest with you, man, I hate when I hear that.
Because I did. Speak for yourself. I did.
Wait. When you say a fight is fixed, you understand that a man could die in the ring, and you're telling him to willingly take punches to change the outcome. Like, does that make sense to you? Wait a minute,
that. You talking about a guy that take a punch from a guy that could literally knock your head off at that. This ain't like he took a dive against a feather punching guy. This is a guy that can knock your head clean off.
The guy was stopped the guy with a torn bicep. That should tell you how hard he hits.
Yeah, it's ludicrous. I'm gonna be honest. I ain't pulling punches. That's ludicrous.
I don't mean to get on your the people that listen to your show, Aaron. You know what I mean? That's why I've said what I said. But
no, I appreciate that. While we're actually on the topic, I want to send out my condolences. All of our condolences to the family of Scott Westgarth.
Absolutely,
most definitely.
Who died? And this is why, to Willy's point, right? I'm sick to death of fucking seeing you calling fighters bums. If you've got the stones to fucking step in the ring and do what these men do for your entertainment, how fucking dare you call them bums? Because you wouldn't do it. People are dying in the ring. It's not all too common, but we had it with Scott Westgarth. Mike Towell died last year. This shit happens, right? So my condolences to their family and the whole. This it's horrible. It is. But
I feel horrible about that, man. I read up on that.
I do too.
He actually won the fight too, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Anytime you have a fighter that goes in there and goes to the hospital afterwards and never comes back home, it's for me personally, man. It's a very bad topic. It's a sad topic. I start thinking of guys like Gerald McClellan.
Yes.
Michael Watson.
Nick Blackwell.
Nick Blackwell.
Where Eubank Sr. actually stepped up, and this is why I respect the guy so much, and told his son, "Don't hit him in the head no more. Just hit him to the body because his referee's not doing his job." And
right.
And when you hear a guy,
the Puerto Rican cat.
I should know that. Pritchard
Colon.
Pritchard Colon. Guys like that, man. These guys go home and they're vegetables and things like that, and they have to be taken care of for the rest of their lives. As a man, do you really think that's the life you want?
Right.
So when you say a fight is fixed, man, you're not just shitting on the person that you're saying got the fixed fight. You're shitting on the whole entire sport. And if you're a boxing fan, you would stop doing shit like that, because all you're doing is trying to put a black eye on the sport to benefit whoever you root for.
Exactly.
Shame on you.
And to the point, I want to throw some shade. I want to throw some shade at British super middleweight Tian Booth, who's had his boxing license suspended following comments on social media after the death.
What did he do? I heard about that, but
basically,
I didn't read into it.
He put something up on Twitter saying some people would enjoy it if I got killed in the boxing ring like Scott Westgarth man down. He further said he spent the past 3 weeks or the past 3 months drinking cider and not training properly. He then, and this really, really fucked me off, there's a good chance I'll end up in a wheelchair like Gerald McLennan, so tune in.
Wow.
Just let that sink in. Just fucking poor form.
He really said that?
Yep, he said that.
Yeah, he really said it. He tweeted.
Who's his rep?
Who's
his rep?
I have no idea. I've not heard of him before, in all fairness.
Because from what I read, he's not backing down either, right? From his comments.
No.
Yeah, it's been removed. I believe it's been removed.
No, not from Twitter, but I think he said something about like he doesn't care what people think or whatever.
Well, he should do. I hope he never gets his fucking license back.
So for him to say that, man, it's damn. I never thought I'd hear a boxer actually say that.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Man, for real.
It is
ever
disgusting.
in my life, ever.
This originally come across the thing. I got it on the wire last night, and but I also got a shit pile of other stuff on the wire, so I never did actually do a story on this. But yeah, it's definitely.
Well, it sounds like Aaron should do a story on this.
Yeah, I'm comprising one of them as we speak. But fucking shame.
I had Aaron doing stories in the middle of the night too.
Yeah, like this.
No, it's the middle of the night for you. It's early morning for Aaron.
Yeah, that's the beauty of time difference. At 7:30 in the morning before I go to work, and I'm doing shit for ThreeKingsBoxing.com.
Yeah, I was on the media call for the Neri Yamanaka weigh-in.
Yeah,
I was still on it whenever I sent him a message, told him to.
I'll be talking about that tonight when I get home, man.
Those comments that Booth made, man. Touch up on that, man. I don't want to gloss over that, man.
Yeah, I will do. I'm gonna do that.
This is man. I don't even know what to say, man. Like this guy.
Man, I'm speechless. I'm speechless. Like wow. A fighter said that?
A fighter said this. Like, not a fan. Not
he said
it.
Yeah.
For him to say that shit, man, what was he thinking? I mean, did they drug test him? Maybe he was high or some shit. I don't know.
Well, the world of Twitter, especially in the UK, has turned on him, so I can't imagine we're ever going to see him in a professional boxing ring again. But there we go.
He mostly fights at domestic level, right?
Yeah, he's not a well-known. He's trained by Dominic Ingle, who also trains.
Right. Yeah, Ingle.
Now that's surprising because Dominic Ingle is a pretty good judge of character.
Yes, he is.
Yeah,
that's surprising. That
isn't he the same guy that trains Bionic Man?
Yeah, Kell Brook.
He trains Kell Brook and he trains Billy Joe Saunders.
He's a good guy, just not his daddy. Go ahead.
That's true. But I'm just saying Dominic Ingle is a pretty good judge of character. So that's surprising that kid came from there.
As far as him as a trainer, man, when you watch that Kell Brook and Errol Spence fight, man, he got our coach.
He did.
His whole game plan was he's gonna fade later in the fight. And that's all he was banking on. That was his game plan. And I'm like, huh. So I got a lot of respect for him though, but I got more respect for his father.
That's true too, yeah.
Right. But for him to say that, I'm surprised that training. I'll be surprised if he's still gonna work with the guy.
Yeah.
What would you say?
Yeah,
Coop?
I will too.
What Cooper?
We shouldn't see him nowhere near this kid no more.
Cooper, you think he's still gonna work with him?
He shouldn't do. As Bo said, Dominic Ingle is a
Wh-
he's a great
When,
coach. He's a good judge of
when,
character.
wait, let me ask you a question, man. When did he make these comments on Twitter? When last week?
It was on Twitter. I think it was. I think it was
Well, not too.
Westgarth died.
Yesterday.
Well, yeah, it was yesterday.
Yeah,
So
I'm about to say that
Oh, he
was
made
recent. That was this week.
right. Yeah, so he made these comments yesterday, right after the guy died.
yeah.
So-
So I'm gonna give you a direct quote from Dominic Ingle, and he's put this on social media. So the inappropriate comments tweeted recently by Tian Booth will be dealt with by the Ingle Gym and the British Boxing Board of Control. He's been asked to remove them. So yeah, that doesn't give an awful lot away, but I would be very, very surprised.
My guess is, from what I read into that, and I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth, it sounds like he's not going to be welcome at the gym anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine he's going to be welcome in the sport anymore.
I mean,
I can't imagine it either. To be honest with you.
what's he saying today? I saw there was an interview with him. I forget if it was Box Nation or somebody like that, or I run across a lot of shit on the internet. But at the moment when I ran into that, man, I was busy doing something else, and I really didn't pay no mind to it. I just thought he said some stupid stuff on Twitter. I didn't know he said this.
He did,
Like,
but
You was getting your manny and your petty.
Yeah, guys say stupid stuff on Twitter all the time.
No. You said you was busy. I said you was getting your manny and your petty.
No, I don't do that stuff. I leave that to you.
Guys, picture this, right? This guy's made comments that are well and truly off the cuff and fucking horrible. Can you imagine the kind of reception that he would get from any boxer that he walked into the gym, especially if he spars with anybody? They're just going to go out to fucking hurt him.
He might have ended his career.
I think he has.
Yeah, because this, like you said, this is like, even if Twitter took it down, there's people that still kind of
Oh, there's
took a picture
screenshots of it.
snapshot at that.
They got screenshots of it. No, let me ask you this. The British board can suspend him for this, right? Because over here,
They already have. They already have.
Yeah, he's suspended.
What, indefinitely?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They took away his license.
I don't know if they could do that here, but I know over there they give the guys less leeway. So, and I'm happy if he got suspended and they took his license away for this, because it sounds like he has no regards for life in the ring.
Well, I sincerely hope that we never see him in a boxing ring again.
Let me tell you, I enjoy a good scrap. I enjoy watching these guys sometimes when they fight, and it's a phone booth fight, and they're hitting the hell out of each other. I do enjoy that. But what I do want to see them is go home, rest up, get better, period. I'd never want to see them go to a hospital, be hurt. Because you always go to a hospital after a fight. It's like routine. But I don't never want to see them hurt.
Sure is.
I don't want to see them hurt. I don't want to see them suffering. I don't want to see their family suffering. I don't want to see none of that, man. I really, you know me for a while now, Aaron. You know that I really take stuff like that to the heart. Boxers' health is something that we as fans a lot of times don't even think about. So when you knock like a Floyd Mayweather or a Caleb Plant, or what's the kid over there in the UK, Aaron, that's about to fight Warrington?
Lee Selby.
Yeah, guys like that, they seem like you guys call it, oh, they fight scared, or they're running, or whatever you guys call it, man. You know what? That guy might be able to actually not slur his words when he's 40. And I wish there were more guys like that.
Larry Holmes, look at Evander Holyfield, the guys that took some severe heavy shots to the head. And yeah, just look at what that does. And remember, guys, they do this for our entertainment. I mean, every one of us that's on this show right now has children. And we all, I mean, Willy fucking last week, he was talking to me. Willy was in a fucking car accident. He just wanted to make sure that he got home to his kid. That's all these guys want to do. They want to do the sport. They want to practice in the sport they love. They want to make some money, but they want to go home to their families. And we all want that too. So knock the bum shit on the fucking head.
Yeah,
you just fall off.
You'd be surprised what a near-death experience does to a person. I mean, shit, I was in a very bad car accident last week. I believe I did a show with you the next day.
You did?
Or the day after, I'm not sure. But, last week was a big blur. I did a show on Friday with one of the guys, man, and I was in a lot of pain. on one side of my body, man. I couldn't even move it. That's how much pain I was in. But these guys go home and they can't see when they go to the bathroom. They have to have somebody hold their thing for them so they could piss.
They're pissing blood.
They're pissing blood, and their kids have to see them like this. So I just always say, man, think about the fighter, think about their health and their family, because at the end of the day, we all want to get home to our family, and anything can happen when us regular Joes, when we leave work, anything can happen to us. And I think in a bad moment or to a bad situation, the thing you think about the most is just getting home to your family if you're a normal human being. So I don't want to ever see these fighters get hurt, pass away, especially when they get a win. You know, you get a thrilling W, but you end up losing your life over it. It's not worth it.
Yeah. Well, there you go. We all might talk a lot of shit, but we always put the sport and the fighters first. That's as pure and simple. Right, guys, that's about all the time we've got. Sorry we've digressed, but you know what? I'm glad that we did. I am very glad that we did. And I am going to go away and I'm going to write something, so expect to see that at threekingsboxing.com at some point in the next couple of hours. Right, so that's it from us. That was, I think, a clean sweep from all four of us, Deontay Wilder. Make sure you tune into the fight, because...
I hope I'm wrong.
Hey, me too, but it's going to be fireworks, so make sure you tune in. Guys, as was said, it's on Showtime in the US. It's going to be on here on Sky Sports Live at about 2 o'clock in the morning, so don't miss it. I stay up for the fight, so everyone else should too.
Right, motherfucker.
Yes, I fell asleep for a few. Truth and facts about boxing, man. Why don't you tell everyone where they can find you?
Yeah, you can find me anywhere where there's the movement. Also, you guys will probably be looking for me and Aaron to do a show on Tuesday. We're going to be highlighting up and coming rising UK fighters. I gotta help that redhead get some exposure, man. So
I've got
I'm gonna hook
brown
him
hair.
up, man. I'm gonna put him down, man. Huh?
I've got brown hair. You fucking idiot.
Brown, red.
You know what I'm saying? I gotta, you know what I'm saying? I gotta help him. I gotta help him get in touch with his inner blackness. So I'm gonna put him down with that.
Hey,
Then
Aaron.
you can also.
Wait, Aaron. He tried to say you look like Chucky from Rugrats.
Oh no! See, now who said that? I didn't. You can also catch me if you guys don't know. I'm also gonna make a regular appearance on the Four Corners Boxing Talk podcast with my man, or is that the Three Kings podcast you guys do?
Nah, Four Corners.
Four Corners.
Okay, yeah. So the Four Corners Boxing podcast on Thursdays. Y'all need to pay strict attention to that. It'd be all kind of people calling in, managers, trainers, and they ask the questions that y'all be wanting to ask. They ask them. All right, so y'all definitely need to tune into that. I'm gonna be a regular on that. Then probably later on today, I'm gonna do something. Hopefully, I get Willy the Kid, and I get that dang on Boone Henderson on with me also. So wherever there's the movement, that's where y'all can find me, man. And just, man, shout out to everybody out there that's following us.
This got to be the longest goodbye ever, man.
To the guy that, I wasn't on the show earlier. So to the guy that made that comment, man, we don't mean to be harsh. We love the sport. We don't like shit like that. And to all my Cubans out there, people that get mad at me, remember I'm half black, all right? So don't fault me too much.
T-Bone Henderson, my man, where can they find you?
Man, you can follow me at Boxing's Boomhauer on Twitter and Instagram. Boxing Boomhauer on Twitter and Instagram. And also follow our radio show, has a page on Twitter at Four Corners Boxing without the G. You always find us Thursday nights at 9:05 p.m. That's the Four Corners Boxing Talk radio show on blogtalkradio.com. Also available through social media, Twitter, Facebook, wherever you want to go. The link's up. And you call in, reach us at our number, 215-383-5777. You can find me on any of y'all shows, whether it be here, Truth and Facts About Boxing, Eastwick Boxing, occasionally on the Prodigy of Boxing, and Big Fool's channel, which is Colossal Boxing Talk. And I'm on them as well. Anywhere that there's a movement show, I generally try to get on it if I can. But you always find me at threekingsboxing.com, as I'm editor-in-chief there. And if you're interested in trying to write something or get on with us. You can either send it to writing at threekingsboxing.com, or you can also send to opportunities at threekingsboxing.com if you're interested in becoming a videographer or something like that.
Yeah.
Good
We're,
stuff. Thank you very
we're
much.
very we're very down the middle. Part of that Four Corners Boxing Talk Show. 9 p.m. Eastern Time. That's over here in the States, New York. If you're in the UK, you could, when you wake up that morning, you could go on Four Corners Boxing Talk, the page on Facebook, click on the post, hit the play button, and you're good to go. You can listen to us to there. We're trying to do something where we could accommodate you fans from over there across the pond, where we could do a show live. So we're working on that. Also, look out for a project that I'm working on, and it's coming out probably sometime in June, July. I can't tell you the name right now because I'm gonna keep that to myself, but I'm just throwing it out there. You can find me at Eastwick Boxing Talk. You can find me here in Eastwick Boxing UK. You can find me on threekingsboxing.com. I'm a writer, lead writer, reporter, analyst. Man, I do it all, man. Whatever you guys need. I'm available on Facebook page Eastwick Boxing, Facebook page threekingsboxing.com, Twitter, Instagram. Check us out, man. We're everywhere. You guys have a question, any thoughts, anything you want to do, or a piece, or write an article, and you want to publish, and you feel like, I got skills, let me see what I got. You could hand it into writing at threekingsboxing.com. That's writing at threekingsboxing.com. And try it out, folks, because at the end of the day, man, we were just like you guys at one point or another. We've been following the sport for 20, 30 years, and we just decided to do our own thing. So we're trying to bring you a platform that's completely unbiased, and it's down the middle, and no favor a guy because he's from the UK or America. We're actually coming to bring you news the way it is and what it is, right in the ring and what you see. It's not the bullshit that we want you to see, like other media sources. So that's very important to all of us. We hold it dear. Sometimes we don't even give you guys our opinion because we want to be so unbiased. So it is what it is, man. We're doing a lot of good things. My man AC Cooper here with Cooper's Corner, man. He's tearing it up, man. I'm very proud of him.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Whoa.
I've said it once. I've said it again.
That's the last time I said I'm proud of you, by the way, for the next
Yeah,
3 or 4 years.
Wow.
I was just going to say, that's like a daddy
And
telling
you
his
got
son.
it. And you got it on recording, my man.
And yeah, we all heard. Oh, I'm gonna play this. Matter of fact, hey, don't worry about it, Aaron. I'm gonna make a clip of this with some. I'm gonna put some music to it with Wilson's picture on it. And I'm gonna send it to you, man.
guys, I'm just glad I was sat down. Because I'm 3 stories up, I'd have fell through the fucking floor. Guys, thank you very much for being on the show. We digress slightly, but it was worth saying. I've said it before. I'll say it again. The 3 guys that I've got in the show, and the other guys in the movement, you simply aren't going to get better knowledge dropped. I mean, these guys have been around for a bit longer than me, just because they're older, but they've been with the sport longer. All of these guys have been in the ring. I have too. You're not going to get better knowledge. You're not going to get better technical breakdown than anywhere but here. This isn't just bullshit. This is me telling you fact, and the proof's in the pudding. Just listen to these guys talk. These guys dropping knowledge on you, and hopefully they're educating you. Hopefully you enjoy the shows. If you do, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I'm AC Cooper. Obviously, you can find me here at Eastwick Boxing UK. You can find me at Eastwick Boxing UK at Twitter. As the guys have already alluded to, look out for Cooper's Corner segments on threekingsboxing.com. If you've got a question or you've got any comments about the stuff that I write, you can write to me at aaron@threekingsboxing.com. I'll always answer. Until next time, guys.